We're in today with the peak of 400 series, the GTX 480. This is the Gigabyte model from 2010. It's got 480 shaders, 1.5 gig of VRAM, GDDR5, Samsung, running at 384 bits bus width with 821 MHz on the core clock and 950 MHz on the memory clock. I'm gonna pair it up with this i7 9 Gen with 8 core and 8 threads. I'm gonna see how it's ranking in a couple of games. I tried a long time ago to delete this video card and I didn't change nothing. So instead, the only thing I could manage to do, I disconnected the fan from this video card. I put the wire straight to a Molex and connect it straight so I can get the maximum RPM from the main fan. And on top of that, I put three 90mm fans with the Molex on the back of the video card, so I get another cooling on the back side of the GPU, you know, try to help. It doesn't change too much on the temperature, only 5 to 7 degrees with that fan on the back, but you do have to remember this is a GTX 480, so 7 degrees, it's a lot for for this type of video card. Nevertheless, let's jump in a couple of games and see how this video card is still holding. Let's jump into GTA 5 and let's see how it's running with DirectX 10. This video card has got 1.5 gig of VRAM, so there is a little room here to adjust. Let's put this to off and see how it's holding like this online. We're online with GTX 480. Okay, so let me say something. The normal temperature for a video card like this in operation, yeah, when it's gaming online, a GTX 480, yeah, it's 90 to 97 degrees. You understand? That's a normal temperature. Everything under 90 degrees, it's a wow achievement. Yes, that's how I call it. Because if you see 81 degrees, that's a very cool video card, you know. Hence why I put on the back of the video card three 9mm fans in order to get how should I say, the whole PCB cooled. It's a fantastic achievement, even if you get like 5 or 7 degrees, because it's good for the video card to cool the PCB overall. Seeing this 83 degrees on the video card is just fantastic, seriously. Alright, performance wise, this video card can still deliver. It's got 100 FPS on average. It's still a very powerful video card, but the only problem you need to understand is the temperature. So if you're interested on heating up your room, then you'll be in a great luck, because this one can deliver gaming and heat up your room at the same time. Maybe some YouTubers managed to do some breakfast too on it, but yeah, not the Gigabyte version, the original. You can actually see the GPU, it's carrying 1.3 gig of VRAM in order to deliver this performance. The core is maxed out. The system itself, it's on 60 watts power usage with only 40-50% load, so that the CPU is not utilized too much, you know. But on the other hand, the system RAM, it's under 10, so I think it's okay. So like I said at the beginning, it's 100 FPS on average with 40 minimals and 84 on 1%. That's a really good number, because the video card is got 1.5 gig of VRAM, and overall it's a good performance. Let's jump into Fortnite and see how it runs with 1080p on performance mode with low details. This is gonna be interesting for this video card. Look at this. So how much VRAM you're using? Ooh, 1 gig of VRAM in the air, 10 gig, less than 10 gig system RAM, that's okay. The system itself, it's using only 60-70 watts consumption on the CPU, that's okay. The CPU is doing fantastic. And the core on the GPU, it's only 90-95% load. That's actually good, because you can actually see 83 degrees on the 480 with 83 degrees. That's a very cool video card, seriously. Look at the averages that I have, 160 averages with 38 on minimals and 92 in the air. I mean, this is gonna be nice. So yes, apparently GTX 480 is running really nice, 100 FPS over 100 on average with 45 on minimals and 98 on 1%. This is a very good performance, 60 watts consumption from the CPU with less than 10 gig of system RAM. I really appreciate that because it allows me to use this in an older computer or use older computer to test this type of video cards. But on the GPU side, we're very good with this 1 gig of VRAM utilization from the video card. Under 90% load on the core, that keeps the GPU under 90 degrees because GTX 480 is not known for being cooled, you know. So seeing this number, it's kind of fantastic and makes my video card cool. Like I said before, I had multiple fans put on the back so I can cool just a couple of more degrees because those 90mm fan can lower the average temperature on the video card with 5 degrees. Let's play Fortnite and see how it's running with 1080p. I'm on smooth with very high and everything on low because I want high FPS. Let's see how it's running. 240. Whoa, this is what I want. Oh, why you take it so close? Doesn't matter. We're gonna dive fast and we're gonna watch others. Overall performance in Farlight is kind of good, seriously. If the GPU is 78 degrees, yeah, it's doing a fantastic job. You know, the cooler. And in the back, those three 90mm fan are helping the GPU, so there's no problem with that. But even the main fan, it's holding pretty well. You know, they're all connected to maximum, you know, to a Molex. So I can't complain about the performance overall. In this situation, you can actually see the average is still good with the numbers, 240 around, but 28 on minimals and over 100 on 1%. It's okay, you know, it's okay. Overall, the GPU, it's kind of good with this, so there is no problem. I mean, if I want to play Fortnite with this, I will definitely like to use it like this, you know, with low details and high FPS. If I want to make the GPU even cooler, then I will lock the FPS to 60, maybe 100, and I will use the GPU with less stress, and I'm 100% sure the temperature on the video card will be much better. That's one thing that I will do. You know, limit the FPS because I don't need this amount of FPS, and in that situation even the power consumption will be lower. Definitely we need to test Dota 2 and see how it's performing with this GTX 480 on maximum detail. Let's see how it holds there, then we're gonna lower the detail. I actually have playable FPS here with the GTX 480 on maximum details. I'm very surprised that this Dota is working like this. I wanna see if there is a fight or something to see if it's dropping the FPS. Oh, it's only the beginning. Regardless, it's holding pretty well in the game with 80 FPS on average, 36 minimals and 75 1%. The CPU is not very stressed in this occasion. You can actually see that if you stay on the lane, the CPU can be even lower. You don't need an i7. So yeah, it's kind of fantastic to see this overall performance from the system itself with nearly 11 gig of system RAM. Now on the GPU side, 1.1 gig of VRAM and max core. So hence why we got 82 degrees, 83 and still climbing. The core clock is okay, the memory clock is okay. So overall the system is delivering the performance with 36 minimals. I love the performance in the game. Actually, I'm curious now to see if I put it on lower details, how it looks. If you put it on lower details, not on minimals, you can actually see that the VRAM managed to drop to 0.6. Even though this video card has got 1.5 gig of VRAM, it's only half utilized. So the CPU didn't go lower on the usage. The only thing that went is the GPU. I think there's a lot of improvement if you want to lower the temperature from this video card. And you will notice with 60 FPS, the temperature on the video card will drop very, very significantly. Look at this. There is no load on the core, only 30-40% on the GPU. The VRAM is still the same, but this is kind of good to see that a GTX 480 can run with 70 degrees in Dota 2. Look at the averages you got. 60 FPS on average, minimal 57, 58 on 1%. So the right settings for the GTX 480 in Dota is low details with VSync on, and you get the best and the most stable performance ever with 68 degrees on the core. Let's jump into World of Tanks and see how it runs on 1080p with medium details. The GPU, it's on the spot apparently with medium details. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on here, so we're gonna take a look and see how it performs with averages. Very not surprised because I know the 480 and the 500 series are doing fantastic in overall in World of Tanks with medium details. It's kind of cool to see the averages now in World of Tanks, 100 FPS even in sniping mode. If it's delivering 100 FPS, that means the performance it's top notch. If I get 37 on minimals and 78 on 1%, that means it's good. The whole GPU it's able to deliver that performance. Can manage to get 1 kill, seriously. Now, in order to put better thermals on this, you can put VSync on medium details. And with VSync, we are going to get better thermals. 60 FPS is gonna give us what, less than 80 degrees on the core, because it's only utilizing 40% of the core, and that is what I need. You know, 1.1 gig of VRAM is still there. On the VRAM utilization, the CPU managed to reach 40 watts now. It's not bad, and this is what I think about an well-optimized game. I mean, well optimized because the GPU is made for this, so can't complain here. Do I like the performance? Yeah, I like it. Do I recommend it? Yeah, that's it. On average with VC, we get 30 minimals and 48 on 1%. I mean, come on, Dota managed to do it better, but in this case, I can't complain. 60 FPS is good because I don't need more in World of Tanks, and if I put 60 FPS, everything is going down on the wattage, you know, on the power consumption. 40% load on the core. Let's take a look and see how Counter-Strike 2 is working with this video card on low details. This is a preset, I think. Custom, yeah, it was from low, and I put everything on performance mode. On the resolution, it's full screen with 1366. I think this is the resolution for this video card. So 144 FPS is the right number for this video card. 30 on minimals and 55 on 1%. If I can maintain this number, I think this overall performance it's ideal. Ooh. So on the CPU side, I got like 130 watts consumption. What the heck is going on with the CPU? Actually, it's doing the job. By lowering the performance, by lowering the resolution and the details from the GPU, makes the CPU run too. Hence why I got this amount of FPS. On the GPU side, I got like 1.2, 1.3 gig of VRAM utilized, and I'm very satisfied on the average. On the average, how it's running. Wow. The GTX 480 in Counter-Strike 2 is still capable of delivering the right numbers. You just have to put the right resolution, and that's it. Alan Wake with maximum details on 1080p is gonna be interesting. I'm actually curious how it holds. Really, 50 FPS. I like how it's performing, 40, 50 FPS. I don't really like the numbers. I think I can adjust the details in this situation. I got not that great MS, 20 MS, and you can see the quality in the game. It's on point with this. Will you take lower details to get 60 FPS? Yes and no at the same time. If the temperature starts creeping up even more, then I will consider lowering the quality and locking it to 60 FPS. I don't want more details just so I can lower the performance in the game, because in this situation I really want the game and the GPU to perform really well, and in this case there is room to lower just a little, you know. Yeah, overall I don't recommend the GTX 480. There's only one reason that I recommend a video card like this, is to heat up your room. That's it. I'm not joking. 90 degrees on a video card like this can make your room very warm, you know, and keep it in such a way so you don't have to start up your heating in the house. I like the performance because it's the top of the 400 series. I like the memes from this video card because it's winter is coming. On the 480 side that I have, you know, the model that I have today is from the Gigabyte, and like I said before, I had to modify the fan and I had to attempt to delete the chip because it was overheating over 100 degrees. In this situation, with new thermal paste, with the fan disconnected from the PCB and connected to a Molex on 100%, and 3 fans on the back of the GPU, I managed to put the GPU in such a good condition that I can enjoy it, you know, I can enjoy the performance of this video card. But aside from that, it's very hard to maintain the temperature on a video card like this. 480 is not known to be cooled, you know, it's always hot. So do I recommend it? I ask again, no, I do not recommend this video card. Other than that, I'm just curious, what do you think about this Gigabyte GTX 480?